The CHNEP Water Atlas Mapping Tool features geospatial data related to water quality, hydrology, wildlife habitat, resiliency, and weather. Users can access the CHNEP Water Atlas Mapping Tool from individual water body or basin pages or by going to the link on the screen. So right now we are on the Estero Bay water body page. When you click on one of these map boxes from a water body page, it will open up the map in a new tab and zoom into that water body. Default layers such as active sampling locations will already be turned on. You will see that all 4 of these maps are nested together on one interactive mapping tool, so users can easily toggle on and off and overlay layers from any one of these theme maps. First, it's important to know how to use the basic map functions. Users can zoom in and out on the map using the plus and minus buttons on the far left side of the screen. Clicking on the Home button with the little house icon will reset the map to the default view, which is a more zoomed out view of South Florida. Click on the button below the Home button that looks like a little box with an X to enter into full screen mode. You can then click this same button to exit out of full screen mode or use the escape key on your keyboard. I will not enter into full screen mode as it will cut off this recording. Now, let's say you want to zoom in to your current location on the map. Click on the Locate Me button, which is the little circle just below the full screen mode button. Right now, I'm at the CHNEP office in Port Charlotte, so that's accurate. Finally, users can change the orientation of the map by right-clicking on your mouse and dragging the map in the direction you would like. To reset the orientation, click on the compass on the far left side of the screen. Now that you're familiar with the mapping tool in general, we will start by demonstrating the water quality map. So to do that, I will click on the Home button to zoom back out, and then I'm going to zoom back into Estero Bay. The goal of the water quality map is to combine all publicly available mapping data that captures the current status as well as long-term trends in water quality. So there are plenty of layers to explore here. I'm going to start by turning off the active sampling locations layer so that we can focus on some of the other layers available here, such as water quality trends. If you click the little arrow next to water quality trends, you will see a list of several different parameters. So this layer is representing an analysis that is conducted on the Water Atlas annually to determine trends in several water quality parameters over the last 10 years. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the trends for total nitrogen. So you can see a red arrow appears in Estero Bay and several small yellow circles. There is a key showing that the red upwards arrow represents an increasing trend in total nitrogen, though it's increasing at a smaller rate. Next, I'm going to turn on the impaired waters layer. So you can see impaired waters in red and waters that are not impaired in yellow. Now, you may be having trouble seeing the water quality trends arrows behind this impaired waters layer. You can simply increase the transparency of the impaired waters layer by clicking on the 3 little dots next to the layer and clicking Increase Transparency. You can click on the water body itself to see more information about the impairment. So we can see here that Estero Bay is impaired for total nitrogen, and we know that total nitrogen has been increasing in Estero Bay over the last 10 years. Note that you can see the pop-up information for layers behind one another by clicking on the little arrow in the bottom right-hand corner of the pop-up box. So I will exit out of the pop-up, and users can then turn on the total maximum daily load layer to see if any TMDLs have been adopted to address the excess nitrogen load. Sure enough, Hendry Creek has a TMDL to improve dissolved oxygen concentrations in that creek by reducing the total nitrogen load. Users can also turn on layers from any of the theme maps simultaneously. So I'm going to turn on the hydrology map now, for example. I'm going to turn off the default layers so that we can focus on some of the other layers available here. And I'm going to click on the live stream gauges to add that layer to the map. And so these blue circles are stream gauges owned by either USGS or NOAA. And when you click on a station, a pop-up will appear with the latest flow and water level readings, as well as the date and time of the latest update, and links to take you to the data source website. So I will exit out of the pop-up, and I will also turn on some layers from the aquatic habitat map. So let's look at seagrass coverage. The latest seagrass coverage is from 2021 in Estero Bay, and we'll look at seagrass loss as well from 2014 to 2021 in Estero Bay. Now, let's say you want to change the base map. Click on the double arrows in the bottom right corner of the screen to expand the toolbar on the right side of the screen. Now, you will see the Base Maps tab at the top of the page. Click on Base Maps to view or change the base maps. So there are several base map options here. You can change it to Imagery Hybrid if you want to see the aerial imagery and labels on the map. Or you can change it to Light Gray Canvas if you want your background to be more subtle so that your layers pop. Well, let's say now you've forgotten what the red upward arrow represents. In the bottom right corner of the page, click on Legend to view the legend. This will open a legend describing only the layers you have selected to turn on. Now let's say you want to share the map with your friends or coworkers. In the bottom right corner of the page, click Print. The Print/Export map box will pop up with options to export the map layout or map only. If you would like your exported map to include a title and a legend, you will use the Layout tab. Here you can give your map a title, so I am going to go ahead and write Test Map. Then click on the Page Setup drop-down menu to see different page size and orientation options. I'm going to select a landscape version. And you can also select the format to export the map in. So there's PDF, JPEG, GIF, SVG, TIFF, and other file format options. Click on the caret next to Advanced Options. Here, you can specify the scale that you want the map to be in, or you can enter information about the author of the map or any copyright information, and select whether you would like to include the legend and the north arrow in your exported map. Once you have made all of the selections and are ready to export the map, click Export. It may take a second, but your exported files will appear here under Exported Files. So I will click on the file to open it and show you what it looks like. So here it has the title Test Map, as well as the legend and north arrow. So again, a map layout is a collection of map elements organized on a virtual page designed for printing. Well, let's say you want to export the map only. Click on the Map Only tab and give your file a name. Again, you can select the file format from the drop-down list, as well as specify the width and height of the map file. Now click on the arrow next to Advanced Options, where you can set a specific scale and DPI, as well as click to include attribution or not. And then click Export, and I will show you what the map-only export looks like once it loads. Now that the map has loaded, I will click on it to show you what it looks like. And ta-da! This is what the map-only print feature will look like. And that's the basics for using the maps and data on the CHNEP Water Atlas.